watching Fox Local.
Fox 10 News alerts.
Phoenix police asking for your help tracking down two young siblings who went missing. We have photographs here for you this morning, and here's a look at them. 11-year-old Liliana Enriquez and 9-year-old Andreas Enriquez. They were last seen near 21st Avenue in Union Hills. Police say they're still investigating why the children went missing, but if you have seen them, please call Phoenix Police.
Well, the race for the White House running right through Arizona. We just learned this morning that former President Barack Obama is actually going to make a stop here in Arizona. He'll be in Tucson next Friday to campaign for Vice President Kamala Harris, who is actually in Arizona right now.
The Democratic presidential nominee held a rally last night in Chandler. Dominique Newland joins us live this morning with more on that. Good morning, Dom.
Good morning. It's hard to believe the election day right around the corner. We are 25 days out now, and last night the Democratic nominee making a stop here in Arizona. So yesterday afternoon, Vice President Kamala Harris, she spoke at the Rawhide Event Center, and supporters, they waited for hours to see her speak. Now, this is her third stop in Arizona since she took over the Democratic ticket following President Joe Biden's decision to step down. And during her nearly half-hour-long speech, Harris said that the administration is ready to help with Hurricane Milton recovery in Florida. She also covered a wide range of topics, including the economy, reproductive freedom, and health care, with a memory of the late Arizona Senator John McCain voting no against repealing the Affordable Care Act.
And it was like out of a movie. The wooden doors broke open. And John McCain came walking into the well of the United States Senate and said, "No, you don't."
Now, one topic not covered, the border, an issue impacting Arizona and one that former President Trump consistently polls better on. The vice president did stay in Arizona overnight. We're still working on getting details about what her schedule will look like today. So be sure to stay with Fox 10 for the latest developments on that, guys. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Dominique, thank you. And more campaign visits are taking place in our state. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is campaigning in Yuma and in the Valley. She'll arrive in Yuma this evening to take part in an event there before heading to Phoenix later tonight. Biden is scheduled to take part in events in the Valley beginning tomorrow.
Former President Donald Trump will be in Arizona over this weekend. The GOP presidential nominee holding a rally in Prescott Valley on Sunday. It will be at the Findlay Toyota Center at 2 p.m. and doors open at 10 a.m.
And yesterday, former President Trump was in Michigan to deliver a speech on the economy. Today, he'll be in Aurora, Colorado, where he will focus on immigration. Now, you may remember Aurora made headlines in August after a video from an apartment complex showing masked gunmen at an apartment complex was released, with claims that these were South American gangs taking over the town.
She wants open borders. They put a little trap out there a couple of months ago. They made it a little bit tougher, but they didn't stop airplanes from flying in with hundreds of thousands of people coming into our country. They're destroying our country.
Now, the mayor and police chief of Aurora, as well as the governor of Colorado, have pushed back on claims that the city is being overrun with gang crime, saying the claims have been greatly exaggerated. And of course, you can stay with Fox 10 for all of your election coverage on air as well as online. Just head on over to our website, fox10phoenix.com. Taking a look at some other top stories that we're following on this Friday morning, we're learning more about a shooting investigation from the overnight hours, I should say.
Yeah, it happened in a neighborhood near the I-17 and Northern. Police arriving at the scene just before 1:30 this morning. They found one man who was shot in the backyard of a house. He was taken to the hospital, expected to be okay. Officers also saw several people leaving that neighborhood around the same time. So far, no suspects have been identified, and this is being investigated as an aggravated assault.
A fiery crash in North Phoenix is under investigation this morning. This is a look at the scene. This is near 44th Street and Deer Valley Drive. The crash happened just after 6 p.m. last night. Firefighters say one vehicle overturned and then caught fire. Police say that a man driving and a juvenile passenger both suffered some severe injuries. The man's injuries were serious but not life-threatening. The juvenile is being treated for critical injuries. Firefighters say a third person was also treated for minor injuries. It's not clear what led up to the collision at this time.
If you're hitting the road this weekend, we do have a couple of traffic alerts for you. Some major closures that you will want to know about.
Yeah, a lot of them too. So let's get out to Anita, and this includes kind of miles and miles of roads in the freeway.
And all over the valley,
Yeah.
right? So we have closures. Some freeways will be narrowed. We're going to start you out on the I-10 in the eastbound lanes. This will be closed all the way from 143 to Ray Road and then I-17 southbound ramp to I-10 eastbound. That begins tonight at 10 p.m. all the way through 4 a.m. Monday morning. US 60, the westbound lanes will be closed. That's from Loop 101 all the way through to the 10. And that begins 10 p.m. Friday to 4 a.m. Monday. Loop 101 northbound will be closed. So this is going to be switching up a little bit. So pay attention to this one. All the way from the I-10 to Thunderbird Road, 9 p.m. Friday to 1 p.m. Saturday. And then Saturday, they're going to switch directions. Loop 101 southbound will be closed. Thunderbird Road to I-10, 9 p.m. Saturday to 1 p.m. on Sunday. Take a look at this one, I-17 southbound. This has been continuous for a couple months now. This will be narrowed. ADOT will have signs out there from Carefree Highway all the way to Loop 303, and that is 9 p.m. Friday to 5 a.m. Monday. Please, ADOT is asking to follow their detour signs just so that there isn't a lot of problem within the neighborhoods in that area. And then I-17 northbound will be narrowed from Joe Max to Loop 303, 9 p.m. tonight through 5 a.m. Monday morning. That QR code right there that you see, all you have to do is scan it. It's on your screen right now. It'll be on our website. All the information you need will be at your fingertips. Back to you.
Anita, thank you. And this is a Fox follow-up on those two men accused of shooting a man and then ransacking his house.
So the violence was yesterday morning in a neighborhood near 59th Avenue and Peoria. Police say the victim came out to his car to go to work, and that's when someone shined a flashlight in his face. It was several guys with guns. Police say that the victim then got into a fight with the men, but when he tried to get away, he was shot. Some of the other men, meanwhile, went into his house, and I believe there was a woman in there as well. They pushed her into one room. They ransacked the house. Well, police say the suspects were not recognized by the victims and won't yet reveal if this was random or targeted, but it's enough to make the neighbors a little nervous.
Kinda yes, especially because, you know, we never know if they can come back and like do it again or something. But yeah, and like it's never really, nothing really bad like happens around this area.
Police say the man who was shot is expected to be okay. No arrests have been made. If you would like to help know any information, please call Glendale Police. One of the suspects accused of robbing 9 Dollar Tree stores across the valley, now being accused of other crimes.
Yeah, we are talking about Yosvani Perez Martinez. He is also accused of having devices to steal bank account information and clone that information onto a blank bank card. This is according to new court documents. He now faces additional felonies, including unlawful possession of a scanning device and aggravated identity theft. The new charges come shortly after his arrest last week, along with his partner in crime, Alexi Torres Alvarez.
New details this morning on a wildfire burning in Pinal County. This is the flood fire. Evacuation orders in the Panther Butte neighborhood have now been downgraded to set status. Still, those who left have been asked to avoid the area. Crews say the flames are now 30% contained. The fire has burned about 4,400 acres.
And a warning for those of you visiting Lake Powell anytime soon. We're talking about a big algae bloom. They have been spotted. And in case you didn't know, certain species of algae can produce toxins that can make humans and pets sick. The National Park Service says swimmers and their pets should avoid swimming in water that has algae blooms and always take a shower after coming in contact with the water.
So help with hurricane recovery is on the way from Arizona. We had some crews over in North Carolina for Helene. They have kind of drifted to the southeast, I believe, to Georgia. And now we have some APS line workers and crew members from across the state of Arizona. They left yesterday morning. This is video that APS has provided for us of them hitting the road and taking a lot of gear and equipment down to the southeast to help with the recovery efforts. They'll be driving in that caravan that you just saw until they reach Florida over this coming weekend.
Quite a long road trip, right?
Yeah, for sure. FEMA has now shipped more than 17 million meals and 210 generators to Hurricane Helene survivors. Many are just now getting clarity here on what to do next.
Yeah, Fox's Oliviana Calmes is in Asheville, North Carolina this morning with more. And Oliviana, how is the process going for the victims there?
Good morning, Ty, Celeste. Well, the city of Asheville is still a mess, weeks after Helene, and many don't have good signal, so it's hard to even set up an appointment with FEMA. A lot of folks are still depending entirely on donations, but there are small developments and some help and hope are going to those who lost their home.
I knew my home was gone. I begged them, I beat on them, please let me out of this truck, please let me out. And they told me, you can't do nothing, you can't stop it.
Susie Fry tells me she grew up here and said it hurt to see it ruined because it carried a special memory of her dad.
It was my mama's dreams and my daddy's hard work that went down that river. He worked third shift and he raised 5 kids. And he put up every wall, every piece of sheetrock, everything that Mama wanted.
When Hurricane Helene hit,
27 inches.
she and her husband narrowly got out in time.
It was racing so hard through the front yard that we got the truck out of the carport into the end of the driveway. This is when I come back and it was gone.
The outside of her house was smashed in, and the inside has a lot of mud and parts of trees.
There's my refrigerator. That was here.
While they were searching for items that washed out of their home, they found something very special.
My husband had went down the river with the wheelbarrow. He tripped and fell some bushes down there and cut himself all up. And it was the first time he broke down. And he dried the tears and he looked over and there was one piece of paper, no mud, no water. And it was the obituary from my daddy's funeral.
It was the only piece of paper they'd found salvageable.
What does that mean to you?
It means my daddy's telling me it'll be all right.
Yeah, Mama, boy.
She's had some help from kind people and is glad she made it out, unlike so many others.
There's a town 1 road over, 5 homes, 11 family members gone. I try to get up in the morning and have my tears and then get up and put a smile on my face.
Fry says she just had her first meeting with FEMA. She'll be getting a stipend from them, but she's going to have to wait longer to find out if she'll be getting more relief.
So the State Fair is about halfway into its annual run.
And a reminder, today is another Feel Good Friday at the fair. That means you can get a free ticket if you bring 10 canned food items to the fair between noon and 6 p.m. So far, donations are unfortunately down this year because a lot of people kind of avoiding the fair just because of the heat. So St. Mary's is hoping more people take advantage of this great deal. Today is also Armed Forces Day, so military personnel can also get in for free with their military ID between the hours of noon and 6 p.m.